Did you know that 90% of people will never achieve their full potential? That's right, most people live their lives stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Yet, there's a small group of high achievers who continue to rise above the rest. What's their secret? It's not luck, talent, or connections. It's a set of strategies that anyone can learn and apply. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how you can get ahead of 99% of people. From mastering the right mindset to taking smarter risks, these strategies aren't just for the chosen few, they're for you. We'll dive into how the 1% think differently, how small daily habits can lead to big changes, and how emotional intelligence is the secret weapon most people overlook. You'll learn what's been holding you back and, more importantly, how to overcome it. Get ready for some shocking facts, simple strategies, and the tools you need to start making serious progress toward your goals. Are you ready to become part of the top 1%? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The 1% Mindset. Unlocking limitless potential. The key to getting ahead of 99% of people begins with your mindset. The top 1% don't just think differently, they think better. They're focused on growth, not comfort. They believe that success is a journey, not a destination. When you have a growth mindset, you understand that intelligence and abilities are developed through effort and learning. As Carol Dweck, the psychologist behind the growth mindset theory, puts it, the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. Research shows that those who embrace challenges instead of avoiding them are more likely to succeed. One study from the University of Pennsylvania found that students who believed their intelligence could grow were more resilient and achieved better results over time. So, how can you start thinking like the 1%? Begin by viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn, not as signs to quit. Another key strategy is eliminating negative self-talk. The top performers don't waste energy criticizing themselves, they focus on solutions instead. In fact, a study by the National Institutes of Health found that people who focus on solutions have better long-term mental health. Start by replacing every "I can't" with "How can I?" This simple change can drastically boost your problem-solving skills. The best part? Mindset shifts don't require a complete overhaul. Small changes over time make a huge difference. Whether it's learning to view a tough situation as an opportunity or consistently challenging yourself to improve, your mindset directly influences your actions. Chapter 2. The Daily Routine of Success. Wake up before the world. What sets successful people apart from the rest is their daily routine. It's not just about waking up early, it's about how you structure your day. A study by Harvard found that people who wake up early tend to be more productive and less stressed. Early risers have time to think, plan, and tackle difficult tasks without distractions. But success isn't just about time management, it's about energy management. Successful people don't simply wake up early, they also prioritize activities that fuel their minds and bodies. Take Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, who starts his day at 3:45 a.m. He uses the quiet hours of the morning to exercise, read, and prepare for the day ahead. This routine is part of what keeps him sharp and focused throughout the day. But here's a twist, it's not about doing everything yourself. Successful people delegate tasks to free up their time for high-value activities. Warren Buffett, for example, spends a lot of his day reading. He dedicates 80% of his time to learning and thinking, which he credits as a core reason for his success. Another game-changing habit is taking strategic breaks. It sounds counterproductive, but breaks improve focus. Research from the University of Illinois found that taking short breaks during work boosts productivity and helps sustain energy. It's not just about working longer hours, it's about working smarter. Lastly, don't forget the power of creative rest. Your brain needs time to recharge, and some of the best ideas come when you step away from the grind. Bill Gates, for example, goes on a Think Week every year, where he isolates himself to reflect and read. It's his way of regaining perspective and sparking new ideas. Chapter 3. Learning at the Speed of Light. Accelerate your growth. Learning faster than the average person is one of the most powerful ways to get ahead. Top performers understand that speed isn't just about working harder, it's about learning smarter. The average person spends hours on ineffective study or learning methods, but there are better ways. One way to speed up learning is through speed reading. Research from the University of Massachusetts found that speed readers can read up to 1,000 words per minute, while the average person reads around 200 words per minute. By learning speed reading techniques, you can absorb information much faster than most. But speed reading isn't enough if you don't understand what you're reading. The key is active learning. This means engaging with the material, asking questions, and applying what you've learned. A study from the University of Chicago showed that people who teach others what they've learned retain the information better. This is why the best learners often act as teachers or mentors. Teaching forces you to deepen your understanding. Another unique learning strategy is using mind maps, visual diagrams that organize information. Mind mapping helps your brain make connections between ideas, improving retention and creativity. Tony Buzan, the creator of mind mapping, claims it taps into your brain's natural learning systems. A study by the University of California found that students who used mind maps scored higher on tests compared to those who didn't. To truly accelerate your growth, embrace deliberate practice. This is different from simply putting in the hours. Deliberate practice focuses on constantly improving by pushing yourself just outside your comfort zone. Research from Anders Ericsson, a psychologist known for studying expert performance, shows that those who engage in deliberate practice outperform their peers by a wide margin. Finally, never underestimate the power of feedback. Whether it's from a mentor or a self-reflection journal, constant feedback helps you course correct quickly. Feedback is the shortcut to improvement. The sooner you identify mistakes, the faster you can learn from them. If you're finding this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to get more tips on how to unlock your full potential. Chapter 4. The Power of Small Bets. Embrace calculated risk. Taking risks is often seen as the path to big rewards, but what if the key to getting ahead is taking small, calculated bets instead? The top 1% understand that success isn't about diving into giant risks without thinking. Instead, they focus on making smaller decisions that add up over time. The idea is to limit your exposure to failure while still pursuing growth. One study by the University of California showed that entrepreneurs who took smaller, more measured risks were more successful than those who took big leaps. By starting small, they could test ideas without losing too much. When you take a calculated risk, you're essentially learning along the way, rather than betting everything on one big chance. For example, Jeff Bezos didn't jump straight into launching Amazon. He tested the idea slowly, starting with a small online bookstore before expanding. This allowed him to refine his business model while minimizing his risk. Today, Amazon is one of the world's largest companies, all because of these small, strategic moves. Another way to embrace small bets is by diversifying your efforts. Instead of putting all your energy into one project, try spreading it across different areas. This doesn't mean you should multitask, it's about testing different avenues. Research from the Journal of Business Venturing found that entrepreneurs who diversified their efforts were more resilient and less likely to fail. Small bets also help you stay agile. They allow you to pivot when needed. If you've ever heard of fail fast, fail cheap, that's the concept in action. You want to learn from mistakes quickly and move forward, rather than holding on to ideas that might not work. So, the next time you have a big idea, think about how you can break it down into smaller, manageable steps. The key to getting ahead isn't making one giant leap, but taking many thoughtful steps in the right direction. Chapter 5. The Art of Saying No. Protecting your time like a billionaire. If you want to get ahead of 99% of people, learning the art of saying no is essential. The ability to decline opportunities that don't align with your goals can be more powerful than taking on everything that comes your way. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, once said, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. It's easy to say yes to every opportunity, but when you do, you spread yourself thin. You waste precious time on tasks that don't move you toward your goals." Successful people know that time is their most valuable asset, and they guard it fiercely. Bill Gates, for example, famously said no to many business deals throughout his career, focusing only on the opportunities that truly aligned with his vision for Microsoft. In fact, studies show that people who say no more often tend to be more productive. A 2017 study published in the journal Psychological Science revealed that people who decline requests are perceived as more competent and are more successful in achieving their goals. When you say no, you're giving yourself the freedom to focus on what matters most. The key is learning how to say no with respect. You don't need to be rude or dismissive. You can politely decline without feeling guilty. Start by asking yourself, does this opportunity align with my current goals? If the answer is no, then say no without hesitation. It's not just about saying no to tasks or people. It's also about saying no to distractions. Phones, social media, and constant emails can derail your focus. A 2020 study from the University of California found that checking your phone even once every 15 minutes can reduce your productivity by 40%. By learning to say no to distractions, you reclaim your focus and your time. Chapter 6. The invisible skill, emotional intelligence for unstoppable success. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is often overlooked, but it's one of the most powerful skills you can develop. While IQ may get you through school, EQ is what will keep you ahead in the real world. Studies have shown that people with high emotional intelligence are more successful, both personally and professionally. In fact, research from TalentSmart found that EQ accounts for 58% of a person's job performance. But what exactly is EQ? It's your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. The first step in improving your EQ is developing self-awareness. You can't control your emotions if you don't first understand them. Journaling or taking time for self-reflection is a great way to become more self-aware. It's important to ask yourself, why do I feel this way? And, what triggered this response? The second part of EQ is self-regulation, which means controlling your emotional reactions. Instead of reacting impulsively, emotionally intelligent people pause, reflect, and choose the best course of action. Studies show that people with higher self-regulation are better at handling stress, making them more resilient in tough situations. The third component is motivation. People with high EQ are more driven and focused on long-term goals, rather than short-term rewards. This intrinsic motivation keeps them moving forward even when things get tough. In fact, a study by the American Psychological Association found that emotionally intelligent individuals tend to perform better under pressure and handle setbacks with grace. Empathy is the next crucial part of emotional intelligence. It's the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. A study from the University of Toronto found that empathetic people are more successful in negotiations and have stronger leadership skills. Empathy allows you to build meaningful relationships, whether with colleagues or clients. Finally, social skills are key. People with strong social skills are better at building networks and collaborating. They know how to navigate difficult conversations, resolve conflicts, and bring people together. Research by the Carnegie Institute found that 85% of job success is due to people skills, with only 15% attributed to technical knowledge. Developing emotional intelligence is a lifelong journey, but it's one of the most effective ways to get ahead of 99% of people. Whether it's improving self-awareness, managing your emotions, or building better relationships, high EQ sets you apart in every area of life. So, invest in your emotional intelligence. It's an invisible skill that's anything but small. If you've enjoyed these strategies and want to learn more, make sure to subscribe for even more powerful tips to help you get ahead in life.